The thing is, you never try to become a guru. If people notice that you have a certain level of perception, people will recognize you as one. You never ever try to become one. I've done everything to shake off the guru thing, but you cannot because people will one way or the other recognize it. You do not know the hand of the divine upon you because it's always on. If it was off and on, if you do not even know that your breath is on, if it goes off for a minute, for sure you know. So because it's not at all off, that's the reason why you do not know. So the moment you sat with me, particularly initiated by me, after that there's no such thing as whether it is on or not, it is on all the time. It is just that you are expecting grace just to fulfill your plans.
There's a very fine line between being trustful and being naive. How can I manage this?
Which one are you? Right now, a month ago I was in Hyderabad. After I spoke in one of the meetings, the local newspaper next day reported, Sadhguru denies God. Headlines they put. The heading of the article was Sadhguru denies God or something like that. And it went on to describe how I deny God. Why these things happening is simply because instead of using your naivete, I'm constantly trying to help you to be doubtful about everything. Because I'm telling people, anyway you have a doubt about everything, you don't trust anybody in your life, please see this. You don't really trust anybody in your life. Even people with whom you have lived for 10 years, 20 years, if they do one act that you cannot understand, immediately all kinds of suspicion will arise about them, isn't it? Yes or no? If they do just one thing that you cannot understand, any number of suspicions will come in your mind. A guru is always a suspect. So naturally there are more suspicions about him than anybody else. Unfortunately, that's the reality. That is why the possibility which is so close is so far away. So I'm not asking you to be trustful, I'm always asking you to doubt. Doubt is fine with me, but suspicion is a sickness. Doubt means you're looking as to what is the truth. Suspicion means you made a conclusion about it. Doubt means you don't know, you're looking. That is a good state to be, you're looking constantly. Naive means you're suspicious and constantly wondering, is the other person much smarter than me? And still taking me for a ride in spite of all my suspicions? These people think they are naive, they are actually suspicious. But they're constantly wondering that the other person may be so much smarter than them and still taking them for a ride. Isn't it so? There is no really naive person in the world. They are suspicious people who are dumb. Dumb and suspicious. Suspicion is not intelligence. In fact, the lower the level of your intelligence, more suspicious you are in your nature. Somebody who's intelligent naturally trusts people around him, at least in the day-to-day affairs. People who have a small mind are suspicious about everybody around them. Have you noticed this? The less intelligent they are, the more suspicious they are always. Because they can't figure out one thing from the other. They're constantly afraid that somebody will misuse them. They're constantly fear that somebody is going to take them for a ride. So, they will be very suspicious, but they're clueless. So, they call themselves naive. They're not naive. They're suspicious, but with the brains of a caterpillar. Now, the question is, how do I know whether I'm being taken for a ride or not? Let's come directly to it. Isn't it? That's a question, isn't it? Let me tell you, you are being taken for a ride. Because you are still not yet in that stage where I can either expose or impose or even tell you what it is about. It is like, I don't know if you've seen, but you come from a Asian family, you might have seen. In India especially, mothers have a whole technology as to how to stuff the child with more food than you would normally eat, you know. You know this technology? Now, they will take so much rice and whatever in the plate. The child says, no, this is too much, I'm not going to eat that. So, okay, you eat one half of it. This half, as the child begins to eat, they'll mix everything together again. Let's say the child is eaten half of this half, then they'll mix this thing together and then again make it… Child says, no, it's too much, so again make it half. Okay, only half I'll give you, again make it half. Like this they will go on doing, and in the end, showing Kakama, Govama, Chandamama, this one, that one, you know, all kinds of distractions. And unknowingly the child will eat up the whole plate full of rice. Definitely, the mother is taking the child for a ride, isn't it? Yes? Similarly, the Guru is also constantly taking his disciples or devotees for a ride. Because if you really tell them what they're supposed to swallow, they will just say, this is impossible, and they will run away. So, because you like everything in installments, I'm taking you for a ride in installments. But it'll never happen in installments. It is whole or nothing. But your willingness comes in installments. Do you see, the first day you arrived at the introductory, what level of willingness you were, and today what level of willingness you are? Slowly we have taken you for a ride, isn't it? Making you little more willing, little more willing, little more willing. The way I'm talking to you today, if I had spoken to you on that day, you would have left, never to see my face again. Isn't it so? So we are taking you for a ride. To be a teacher, you must know something, isn't it? To be a guru, you need not know anything. It's just that you don't know anything, but you got eyes to see. Whatever you want, you can look and speak. But to be a teacher, you have to know something. If you don't know anything, you can't make a teacher, isn't it? To be a guru, you don't need to know anything. Just a certain level of perception, that's all. You're not knowledgeable about anything. It's easy. Being a teacher is difficult because you will have to remember so many things. The thing is, you never try to become a guru. If people notice that you have a certain level of perception, people will recognize you as one. You never ever try to become one. I've done everything to shake off the guru thing, but you cannot because people will one way or the other recognize it, wherever you may be. Whether you're in India or otherwise, they may not use the word guru, but nowhere in the world, if you found a human being whose perception is beyond yours, could you ignore him? People naturally gathered around them. Maybe they didn't use the word guru, they used something else, but always it happened, isn't it? In India, we identify people as saints, sages and seers. Saints means they have attained to a certain level of pleasantness. They can bless people. In their presence, everybody feels pleasant, some well-being happens. But they don't teach anything, they only bless. Sages means they have some grasp. They have become pleasant, their energies have become pleasant, but they have also grasped some knowledge, particular dimensions of knowledge. A sage may be good with astronomy or astrology or with some other dimension. All the Indian mathematics has come from sages, not from university academics. It is sages who came up with mathematics and music. You heard of this? Shiva himself is a great mathematician, musician, dancer, all these things because math came naturally when somebody looked deep enough into the existence. The mathematic background of it started finding expression in human intelligence and so they naturally became mathematicians. You must read the story of people like Ramanujam and others, they're brilliant mathematicians without any academic support because a certain level of observation, which is a sage. A seer means one who sees. See, it's a very appropriate expression, one who sees life just the way it is. Does it mean others don't see? Yes, others don't see. For others, their sense organs are interpreting. See, right now, your sense perception is interpreting this is day, night is going to come after this many hours. You ask the creatures in the forest, their senses are interpreting this is night, day will come after a few hours right now. So, it is the interpretation of the senses that you know, you are not seeing. A seer means he is seeing it the way it is. So usually or always, a saint will never claim to be a guru. Leave what's happening today in modern society. I'm saying in the tradition, a saint never claimed to be a guru. He was only a saint. He knows that his thing is he's become like a flower, he can bless. His fragrance will impact people, that's all he is. A sage is somebody who's always trying to explore a certain dimension of life. He can teach, he can do things. A seer is somebody who simply sees. He can do whatever, any of these things he can do or he may choose not to do anything. It's up to him what he chooses to do. He will do what is needed in the society at that time, or if he's not bothered, he will leave it and just sit. But he sees. So a guru must see, otherwise he cannot be a guru. He must be able to see. Have you noticed many times, if you're in a hotel lobby, there is a background music going on and after some time you do not know that there is music going on, unless you want to make a conversation and you find it interferes with it or something like that, otherwise it's on all the time and you do not notice it. Being in America, some machine is buzzing all the time in your house, but you do not know that it's buzzing. Only when you enter the house, you will know it. After some time, you do not know it. So almost anything which is there with you all the time, you tend to not know it. That's the only reason why you do not know the hand of the divine upon you. Because it's always on. If it was off and on, if you do not even know that your breath is on, if it goes off for a minute, for sure you know. So because it's not at all off, that's the reason why you do not know. But what is the problem if something is on all the time? What is the problem not knowing? Not knowing that you're alive, what is the problem? You'll just miss life, that's all. The joy of being in grace will be lost. Still life will be happening, but the joy of being in grace is completely lost upon you. So it's not something that's on and off. It is not something that every weekend you question whether it is on or off. It's just on. You just have to, become conscious of it so that you know the joy of being in grace. I have said this in many ways, but people, I'm sure most of you have chosen to ignore it. I have said, once you sit with me even for a moment, then there is no such thing as privacy in your life. So the moment you sat with me, particularly initiated by me, after that there's no such thing as whether it is on or not, it is on all the time. It is just that you are expecting grace just to fulfill your plans. Most people are only expecting grace to fulfill their plans because this is an old habit of going to the temple, church or mosque and telling God what he must do. If he does not do, you will change your God. So this is an old habit. So grace is not about fulfilling your plan. Grace is about fulfilling life's plan for you. This is not about fulfilling your petty plan because every day your plans keep changing. At different stages in your life, many times you thought this is it and next moment you change your decision. So, grace, a guru's grace is not designed to fulfill your plans. Guru's grace is designed to fulfill the life's plan. You as a piece of life, to fulfill its plan, to make life arrive at its fulfillment, not to fulfill your immediate plan. You want to go on a vacation, go, Sadhguru, why are you not helping me? This is not about that. So don't every other day keep on questioning, is it there with me, is it not there with me? I won't be wasting my life with you if I could not sustain the support and make it happen.